Welcome back to online classes. Dear students, all of you, how are you? Today I am going to discuss with Indian Penal Code, okay, under section 319. Okay, I think last class we discussed about section 319. Okay, once again I just wanted to give elaborations. Okay, section 319 explain about hurt, simple hurt. Okay, simple hurt. What is the meaning of hurt? Okay, by dangerous weapons, this is aggravated forms of hurt by dangerous weapons to extort property or to constrain to do all illegal act by means of poison to commit offense, to extort confession, to compel restoration of property, to deter public servant from his duty. Okay, by dangerous weapon means they are using dangerous weapons, and another to extort property, to taking property from any one of the person, extort or threatening, or to constrain to do illegal act by means of poison to commit offense. If any one of the accused to give poison, okay, to a aggrieved party, and to extort confession, any one of the person to ask him to give confession statement by using his threatening, okay, or extortion, or to compel restoration of property. Okay, and the final is to deter public servant from his duty. Okay, we have simple hurt and grievous hurt. As simple hurt explain about section 319 of IPC, section 320 of IPC grievous hurt. Okay, in this code many of the offences which fall under the head of hurt will also fall under the head of assault. Okay, here a stab, any one of the person to taking a knife and stab, a blow which fractures a limb, the fighting of boiling water over a person, or assaults, and are also act which cause bodily hurt. But bodily hurt may be caused by many acts which are not assaults. Okay, a person, for example, who mixes a deleterious potion and places it deleterious poison, okay, and place it on the table of another, a person who conceals a cyst in the grass on which another is in the habit of walking. Okay, a person who digs a pit in a public path. Another point, a deleterious potion and place it on the table of another, a person who conceals a cyste, cythe, cyste, in the grass on which another is in the habit of walking. A person who digs a pit in a public path, public road, okay, intending that the another person may fall into it and it may cause serious hurt and may be justly punished for causing such hurt, but they cannot without extreme violence to language be said to have committed assaults. We propose to designate all pain, disease and infirmity by the name of hurt. Here the definition of hurt appears to contemplate the causing of pain, etc. by one person to another. Pulling a woman by the hair was held to be his offense. Act neither intended nor likely to cause death is at even death is caused. Okay, where there is no intent to cause or intention to cause death, nor knowledge that death is likely to be caused from the harm inflicted, and death is caused, the accused would be guilty of hurt only if the injury caused was not serious, where the accused with a view to chastising her daughter, okay, 8 or 10 years old the daughter, for impertinence, gave a kick on the back and 2 slaps on the face. What happened? The result was, which was death. It was held that she was guilty of voluntarily causing hurt. Okay, this is what saying section 319. And another example of this same section, poisoned sweet meats. Poisoned sweet meats means the mixing of any poison with meals or meat, whatever it may be, food particles. So here one example, a boy of about 16 years of age being in love with a girl some 3 or 4 years younger, okay, and apparently intending to administer to her something in the nature of love philtre, PHILTRE, induced another boy younger than himself to give the girl some sweet meats, okay, meat. The girl and some of other member of her family ate the sweet meats, and all the persons who partook of them were seized with more or less violent symptoms of datura poisoning, a one of leaf, no, datura metal. So that datura metal poisoning. So none of them died. It was held that the boy was guilty of causing that. Okay. The section 319 was applied. Okay. We'll go to another section, section 320 of Indian Penal Code, grievous hurt. Okay. I'll give you 8 ingredients. Okay. The following kinds of hurt only are designated grievous hurt. If any one of the following will take grievous hurt. Okay. For example, the main content, 8th one, grievous hurt. First one, emasculation. Number 2, permanent privation of the sight of either eye. Either eye, permanently privation. Okay, not working properly. Thirdly, permanent privation of the hearing of either side. Both hear, not working. Okay, third, permanently privation of the hearing of either ear. Fourthly, privation of any member or joint, any member of the human body or any joint, leg or hand. Okay. Fifthly, destruction or permanent impairing of the powers of any member or joint. Sixthly, permanent disfiguration of the head or face. Face also not clear, permanently it will change, and head also like some other particles, no, so it's not clear. And sixthly, seventhly, fracture or dislocation of bone or tooth. Tooth also fracture, and jaw and hand or any other human body fracture or dislocation, who are doing that particular person. Okay. And eighthly, any hurt which endangers life or which causes the suffer. Okay. Eighthly, any hurt which endangers life or which causes the sufferer to be during the space of 20 days in severe bodily pain or unable to follow his ordinary pursuits. Okay. As per the section, the grievous hurt is hurt of most serious kind. Okay. The small hurt is okay. This is a serious kind. The section merely gives the description of grievous hurt. Here, sorry, we have found it very difficult to draw a line between those bodily hurts which are serious and those which are slight. To draw such a line with perfect accuracy is indeed absolutely impossible. Okay, but it is far better that such a line should be drawn, though rudely, than the offences, some of which approach in enormity to murder, while others are little more than frolics which a good-natured man would hardly resent, would be classed together. To make out the offences of voluntarily causing grievous hurt, there must be some specific hurt. That means voluntarily inflicted and coming within any of the eight kinds enumerated in this section. That means emasculation, number 1, 2, above 8, no? So where the injury was caused on abdomen with a sharp edged weapon, and the doctor stated that the injury was penetrating into the abdominal cavity, touching the interior surface of the stomach, not involving any important structure or organ involving danger to life. Okay, it was held that the accused had caused simple hurt and not grievous hurt. Okay, based on this medical report and the circumstances of the case and power of the court. Okay, yep. And another thing here, section 320, first ingredients, that one is emasculation. Emasculation means depriving a male of masculine vigor. Okay, emasculation means depriving a male of masculine vigor. And another point, that means amputation of left forearm. Here, example, the 9 accused persons vigorously formed unlawful assembly. You know very well unlawful assembly, 2 or 3 persons or 4 persons unlawfully standing anywhere. Okay, caused the death of a person and also cut off the left forearm of his son, who tried to intervene to save his father. For this injury, conviction was altered from under section 307, that is attempt to murder, to one under section 326 for grievous hurt. Okay, this is amputation of left forearm, suddenly intervening another person. Okay, and injury 3 found on the person of petitioner, witness 2 to the heel of the right leg, most of it cut and separate, amounts to a grievous injury, and the cutting part of body or emasculation comes within the definition of grievous hurt as per section 320 of the IPC. Here therefore, the offence committed by appellant number 1 Narayanasamy falls fully within the definition of section 320 of IPC, punishable under section 326 of IPC, having regard to the nature of weapon, okay, used by appellant 1. This is armed forces. Okay, armed forces means the unlawful assembly persons were attacked by these incidents. Okay, and another point of kinds of hurt, the 6th one, class 6th one. What is the 6th one? Permanent disfiguration of the head or face. I'll give you this class 6 because disfigurement of head or face means doing a man some external injury which detracts from his personal appearance but does not weaken him, as the cutting of a man's nose or ears. Here, for example, where a girl's cheeks were branded with a red hot iron which left scars of a permanent character. It was held that the disfigurement contemplated by this section was caused. Disfigurement, what section? Section 320. Subclause 6th para, 6th. ingredients. Okay. So also also where the accused went with a razor. Okay, another point, another example, razor to a house of dancing girl. What is that? This example, and cut the bridge of her nose with it, which according to doctor permanently disfigured her face. The case of the accused clearly fell within the class 6.3 of section 320 of the IPC. Okay, and another point of this section, another example of this suitable class of 6, a partial cut of skull wallet has been held to be fracture within the meaning of this clause, and therefore the punishable under section 326, though the victim had become normal within 21 days from the date of journey and was capable to live his normal life, the injuries would positively fall in the definition of grievous hurt enumerated in section 320 of the Indian Penal Code in special reference to description 8.3. Section 300 subclause 8 described clearly. What is that 8.3? Any hurt which dangers of life or which causes the sufferer to be during the space of 20 days in the severe bodily pain or unable to follow is ordinary pursuits. Okay, this is what explained section 320 subclause 6 and 8. We'll discuss about class 7 of 320. What is that? The class 7 explain about fracture, dislocation, bone tooth. Okay, fracture or dislocation of a bone or tooth causes great pain and suffering to the injured person, and hence it is considered grievous hurt. For the application of this class, it is not necessary that a bone should be cut through, or the crack must extend from the outer to the inner surface. Okay, or there should be displacement of any fragment of the bone. If there is a break by cutting or splintering of the bone, or there is a rupture or fissures in it, it will amount to a fracture within the meaning of this class. Okay, and another example for class 7, where the accused threw his wife, note down, where here the accused threw his wife from a window about 6 feet high, but the fall was broken by a weatherboard fixed just below it and resulted in the fracture of the knee pan and in several small wounds also. What happened? The court was held that he was guilty of causing grievous hurt. Okay. Another class 8. What is the section 320 subclass 8? Endangering life, severe bodily pain, etc. Okay, this class speaks of two things. What are the things? Number 1, any hurt with dangerous life. Any hurt with dangerous life. And any hurt which causes the sufferer to be during the space of 20 days. Number 1, subclass 1, in severe bodily pain. Subclass 2, unable to follow his ordinary pursuits. Okay, some hurts which are not like those hurts which are mentioned in the first 7 classes of section 320 of IPC are obviously distinguished from a slight hurt may nevertheless be more serious. Thus, a wound may cause intense pain, prolonged diseases, or lasting injury to the victim, although it does not fall within any of the first seven classes. Before a conviction for the sentence of grievous hurt can be passed, one of the injuries defined in section 320 of IPC must be strictly proved, and the eighth clause is no exception to the general rule of law that a penal statute must be construed strictly. Okay, and another point of an injury can be said to endanger life. It is in itself that it may put the life of the injured in danger. Here, the mere fact that man has been in hospital for 20 days is not suffering. It must be proved during the time he was unable to follow his ordinary pursuits. Okay. Another example I will give you. If the accused caused hurt to a woman to remain in hospital only for 17 days, out of which she was in danger for 3 days, it was also held that he had caused grievous hurt. Okay. Here, a disability for 20 days constitute grievous hurt. Okay. If it continues for a smaller period, then the offense is hurt. And another example, where the accused person, after raping a girl of 11 years old, thrust a stick into her private part and she died of injuries thereby caused, it was held that while the accused could be convicted under this clause also, in the absence of evidence that the injury was sufficient in the ordinary course of nature to cause death, they could not be convicted under section 302. Fine. So these are all under the category of section 320. And another thing I just wanted to give example, spleen, because we already discussed section 320. Okay, privation of any member or joint. Okay, for example, spleen, where the accused, any one of the accused person, pulling the deceased out of cart, kicked him and struck him on the side or on the ribs with a stick, whereby deceased, whose spleen was deceased, died. What happened? Spleen damage based on these activities. Died. Here the court was held that he was guilty of voluntarily causing grievous hurt. Okay. Another point, use of weapon. Many of the persons using weapon and causing hurt. What section will be applied? Based on the section 320, use of weapon, the cause grievous hurt, it is not necessary that any weapon of offense must be used. Even without any weapon, an injury of the nature mentioned in the section 320 could be caused. The offense under section 325 is voluntarily causing grievous hurt. Okay, what is that? Section 325, voluntarily causing grievous hurt. It does not speak of use of any weapon of offense. Okay. Okay, another point of example, sometimes the supply of arak mixed with dangerous substances to the any one of the person. Okay, what happened? The arak supplied was mixed with methyl alcohol, resulting in many deaths. The court concluded that the person responsible for the mixing had knowledge that consumption of such a substance was likely to cause serious adverse effects. Okay, the court concluded that what happened, the person responsible for the mixing had knowledge that consumption of such substance was likely to cause serious adverse effects. Some of the victims lost eyesight. The court said that the maximum sentence under this section was properly awarded. Okay, now it's clear this section. Okay friends, okay students, we will go to next section, next video class. Okay, it will be useful for your preparation. Okay, thank you, bye.